So we've been doing some collaborating recently on YouTube, mixing it up, showing that some of our videos actually transcend the blurred lines between the likes of Formula One and the motorsport reports and motoring as well. And we've got our political one on there as well now, guys. And this, to be honest, does kind of cross the lines of at least two, the politics one and also the motorsport reports as well. And you could probably chuck the motoring channel in there as well, because, we talk about all of these things in here quite a bit. And this story is all about the immigration force in the United States, ICE as they are commonly called, and they have spent nearly $2.5 million on buying vehicles designed and made by a NASCAR team, in this case Hendrick Motorsports. Now, Hendrick Motorsports are the most successful team in the NASCAR Cup Series over the last 20-25 years, right? They've had some of the all-time greats drive for them, the likes of Jeff Gordon, the likes of Jimmy Johnson, and nowadays Kyle Larson as well. Some fantastic drivers over the years, and they've very much come under fire for this decision, guys. But let's have a look at it. Everybody says keep politics out of sports, but is this just more business than anything else? Let's have a look, guys. Let's have a look at the full story here. Hendrick Motorsports Technical Solutions is under fire for its willingness to engage in commerce with the federal government, in this case, ICE. The company, founded by former NASCAR driver Rick Hendrick, and like I said in the intro, Hendrick Motorsports are incredibly successful in the NASCAR Cup Series, and as a result, all the way back in 2020, so this valuation will have gone up, but all the way back in 2020, they were valued at $315 million by Forbes. I can imagine nowadays they're probably closer to $400 million at least. Originally reported by the Washington Post, Hendrick recently sold more than 24 vehicles to the Trump administration for use with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE. A Hendrick company spokesperson said to WBTV, quote, "Earlier this year we sold 25 standard Chevrolet Tahoes to the federal government. The vehicles were unmodified and we fulfilled the commercial sale. We do not participate in or control how agencies equip, brand or use vehicles after purchase." End quote. The federal government paid over $2 million for the Tahoes from Hendrick Motorsports in North Carolina and dished out another $174,000 to other companies for custom wrappings, according to the Washington Post. Due to the lack of an open bidding process, ICE was required to submit their justification for skipping any competitive bargaining. The contract had stated the following, quote, "The agency's need for the services is so urgent and compelling that providing full and open competition will result in unacceptable delays and seriously hinder the government's recruiting initiative. Urgency is warranted as these vehicles must be deployed to the streets immediately to provide a visible law enforcement presence, support public safety operations, and reinforce recruitment efforts." End quote. But of course, some people called foul on that, saying that ICE were very much going above and beyond when it came to the regulations for this. There should be an open bidding process. They shouldn't be able to circumvent that. And the crisis that they are trying to perpetuate isn't actually there in reality. And when this news broke about Hendrick, not everybody is happy in the world of NASCAR and beyond. A man from Georgia was quoted as saying that Hendrick should be harassed for being a damned crook who needed to buy a pardon from Clinton. He went on to say, "I don't care who ICE buys vehicles from, but I would never put a dime in that crook's pocket." I don't know, it seems like you do kind of care really when you're saying something like that. It doesn't sound like you're ambivalent at all. But that does kind of get onto one of the points I was going to mention at the end, right? I mean, playing devil's advocate, ICE were going to get these vehicles, right? They were going to buy them from somebody. Someone was going to buy them. Is it really bad that Hendrick has gone out and done that? I mean, you can argue it is, but at the same time, it's business. Someone was going to do it, and if they can make some more money off of something like that, they're going to do it. Does it make it right? That's debatable, but I'm just saying that's probably what they're going to say as their excuse, really. Because at the end of the day, Hendrick Motorsports, like it said in that statement, they don't control how ICE do it. They give them unmodified vehicles, right? They are unbranded effectively at that point, and ICE go off and give them the wrap and, all the blues and twos and everything like that, right? So, ICE don't have to use them for what some people say are illegal methods, Big Brother is watching you kind of things, right? Hendrick aren't saying to ICE that they have to go and do that. That's down to ICE, right? They don't have to be evil in some people's eyes. I'm not saying they are evil. I'm just saying that some people say they are evil. So it's an interesting dilemma, really. But where do you stand on this, guys? Should Hendrick really have to suffer the social ramifications for doing a deal with the devil like this? Again, to use a bit of a biblical reference. I want to hear what you have to say, as always, on this one. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Like, share, comment, subscribe, guys, and we'll see you soon for much more news from the world of NASCAR and the world of politics right here on these channels, guys.